Welcome to another episode of the Khyrie Neveaux Show. I am your host, Khyrie Neveaux. Today I have a special episode, a special guest, which is my baby sister. And growing up, I remember, I had a best friend. Well, have because he's still my best friend. But um, there was one time where we were just in conversation, and I mentioned my sister being adopted, and he was like, "What, Caitlin? Like Caitlin adopted? Like I had no idea. Are you like you lying right now? Like there's no way she's adopted. Like all this time I've been knowing y'all, and I never knew." And that kind of goes to show just how natural and seamless that our family was with her adoption. So just a little backstory before let her talk. So I always say that I prayed for Caitlin, right? So I had moved to Katy with my dad from Port Arthur. So I was by myself. And so I'm praying for, I was like, for a sister specifically. I already had brothers, whatever. So I'm praying for a sister specifically, right? So one day, my dad, my stepmom called me downstairs, and they're telling me that she is pregnant, and I believe they already knew the sex. So they're telling me it's a boy. So I'm like, all right, well, at that point I was like, all right, well, I didn't get the sister I prayed for, but I got another sibling. So that's what's up. I took it as a blessing. So fast forward a couple of months, probably, I'm at a friend of the family's house, and my dad is me. I was with my dad. Angie, my stepmom, was in Beaumont at the time. So they call, and my dad is just like telling me, "Hey, you got a sister." I'm like, "What do you what do you mean?" So I was like, "What do you mean? Like y'all told me, Angie was having a boy, ain't time for her to deliver yet. Like, what do you mean I'm having a sister?" And so he just went on to tell the process. So Caitlin, oh, so that is why I say I pray for her, because I not only did I get another sibling, but I got the sister I asked for. So your whole place in our family is because of me. Your whole existence, actually. Um. So yeah, Caitlin has been with us since she was 2 weeks, I believe. So yeah, practically all of her life.
I came at the end of a week, actually. I wasn't even with my biological mom for a week.
See, so she's pretty much been with us since she's been on the earth. So, Caitlin, what is your earliest memory of growing up in our family?
Definitely, this is so random, but this is when I started remembering everything. A lot of before 4 years old, it's really foggy, but 5 years old, I remember you coming to the house with all your friends
Mhm.
and literally, even though they were company or guest over, my mom would treat them like they were her kids. So if it was Sunday, everybody going to church. If you coming to spend the night, you better bring clothes, or my mama got clothes for you. Like it was either church or cleaning up early in the morning, and the house having music, everybody doing their own thing. That's really what started a memory for me, of comfortability. And yo, this is a really cool family. But y'all cool anyway.
E or whatever. So, I mean, I know the answer to this, but for the, audience, um, how did you first learn or understand that you were adopted? So before you go, just to give the audience some more backstory, so my sister is biologically related to my stepmom, right? Who, that is her mom, is who raised her, but biologically they are related. So just want to put that backstory. But even though you came to us as a baby, how did you first learn that you were adopted?
So if we go back,
Mhm.
when I was 2 or 3 years old, my mama, she told me biological mom, Angie, she told me that,
Wait,
um
wait, you said biological mom, Angie.
yeah, no. My fault. My mom, Angie, what that's how
Oh,
you can see, I really truly think that, I came out of her. But, she told me when I was 3 years old, I believe, that she was, like, trying to show me a picture of my biological mom, Tawana, who I looked at and I was like, "Who is that?" And she was like, "Well, you're" like, I didn't say that, but she was like, "This is, like, your real mom, you're adopted, like, I'm not you didn't come out of me." And I looked at her and I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." But,
I didn't even
um
know that. I didn't even know this conversation happened.
yes.
Mhm.
I didn't know this happened till like a year ago, actually. And
Okay.
I looked at her, she said I looked at her and I acted like, "Who is that?" Like, I pointed up to her and I said, "You're mommy." And I kept
Well,
saying that. So fast forward to me being about 9. I think I was 9 years old. Yeah, I was about 9 or 10 years old. And there was this Lifetime movie. Me and my mama, we always watching Lifetime movies. So when I got back home from Beaumont, I would start watching it by myself, and this movie came up, and the movie's name was The Carlina White Story, and I kept watching the movie over and over and over again because I felt so connected to it, and I didn't know why, like, it was just really intriguing to me. The movie is about, um, a girl who got pregnant, she had a baby at a hospital, and a nurse or a nurse, a fake how do you say that? Somebody came into the hospital trying to fake like she was a nurse and came in there and said, "Hey, I'm gonna take the baby for some shots and I'll bring it right back." And she obviously kidnapped the baby and the baby grew up with her for 18 years until she realized that that wasn't her biological mom and that she stole her. So I kept watching the movie over and over and over again. And I was like thinking like, okay, all of my brothers are light skinned. Where am I getting this color from? Like, I was like, my daddy is really light skinned. He's real light skinned. And I'm like, all of my siblings are light skinned, and I'm the only dark colored one. And so I kept saying to D, my brother, basically my twin, y'all know him. But I was like, you're not my brother because they had to have stole me or something. I kept saying that. I was like, I don't think like y'all are not I don't feel right in this family or whatever. Something's in my gut telling me that I don't feel right. So Damien went and told my mom that I was saying stuff like that because he was like, "Why are you saying stuff like that?" He was really concerned. Like, why do you, like that's random. So my mom came to me and she was like, "Why are you saying stuff like that? You think I stole you?" And I was like, "I don't know, probably." Probably. And she was like, "Wow." And then she left the room. So I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, Damien, you just got me in so much trouble, like, why would you do that?" And then we got into bed. So then my mom told this is told from my mom because obviously I wasn't in there, but she told me that she went in the room and she told my dad and she said, "I think it's time we need to tell her." Like she's starting to question herself. And backstory, when I was at school in elementary school, my last name would be Ledger and my
Mhm.
brother's last name would be Neveaux. So I was so confused as to why me and his name was completely different. And I've never heard of No Ledger. So I was like, okay, like my parents were telling me like, oh, it's just a mixed up in the system. Like I don't know why they're doing that or whatever to, get me off of it. So I was so young. Um, so that was another thing that was really like taking my head off as to like this isn't normal to me. Like I don't know what's going on, but I don't feel right in this situation. So I'm laying down with my brother and she walks in the room and she's like, "Kate, come here." So I get out the bed and I go in the room and my mom and dad are sitting on the bed and they looking real serious. I'm like, "Oh, yo, I'm finna get my butt whipped." Like whatever. So she's like, "Well, you didn't come out my stomach." And I said, "What do you mean? Like, what are you saying?" And she was like, "You didn't come out of my stomach. You came from somebody else, but you're my baby now." And I was like, "So you're not my mom?" And she was like, "I am your mom, but you just didn't you just
Sorry.
didn't, no, you're okay. You just didn't come out of my belly." And I was like, "So I'm adopted?" And she was like, "Yeah, that's a good word to say it, but you're not technically adopted." And I was like, "Okay." Like, I started crying and stuff like that because I felt like a now at that moment, I feel like a stranger. Like, I feel like a stranger and I feel betrayed a little bit because it's like, you've led me on for so long, especially after watching the movie. So now I'm looking at my
Mhm.
parents like they're evil. Like, y'all literally just did the same thing. I'm finna call 911. So, I was hurt, I was betrayed for a 9-year-old though, like, you have to put yourself in the shoes of a 9-year-old. So, during those weeks of finding out, I was definitely, um, acting out and having attitude and thinking that, like, I was just real, real hurt. I was having little moments of everything was all coming down for me in my little 9-year-old world. So, um, she was very adamant on not telling me who my biological mother was, because I really, really wanted to know who she was. But
Mhm.
I kept saying, like, "Oh, I hate her, she gave me up." Like, I don't wanna be around her at all. Like, why you can't do that to a child. Like, so, um, after that, my mom was like, "I'll tell you when you're ready. I'll tell you when you're ready." It took me a while to come to terms with the fact that I wasn't the same as my siblings, because we have a very blended family. Like, it's not my mom only had one child biologically, but she has how many of us is there? 4? She has 4 kids, and only one of us is for her. So it's like I also felt different because my brothers, they were clinging on to the fact I felt like they were clinging on to the fact that my daddy was still blood. Like, they were still with somebody they feel like they knew. I was like, "Oh, I'm the only odd one out." Like, I'm literally I didn't come out of none of y'all. Like, I felt so hurt about it. Like, especially because I was actually really hurt about the fact that Khyrie wasn't my real brother. Like, I was really, really, really hurt about that. I was like, "This is crazy." And then also, like, I'm such a daddy's girl, so, like, knowing that my dad wasn't really my dad was also heartbreaking. So, like, I felt like I had to what is it? I felt like I had to, like, prove myself to them in a way that I could be a sister, I could be a Neveaux. How you say it like that, yeah. So,
Mhm.
yeah, that's
So, when did you find out that, your biological mom when did you find that out, who she was?
found out when I was 13.
13? How'd that
Mhm.
make you feel? Especially being that it's somebody that when you look at y'all look alike, like, also another important, piece of this is that you have biological siblings
Yes.
also. And so how
Yeah.
was that when you found out who it was?
Um, the funny thing is I didn't catch on to any of this, but my mom, Angie, she would let me go with Tawana. Like, she would let me go with her, go to the gas station whenever I was like 8, 9, 10, 11. We'd be going hanging out and stuff like that, go to my grandma's house. Never once did I think, "Oh, me and her look alike," or nothing like that. She was like a big cousin. Like, she was just like a big cousin to me. She was real, real cool and things like that. So I was like, okay, like I was blurting out names to my mama, like, this my mama, this my mama, this my mama, which one is it? So, um, I also had a relationship with my siblings before I even knew they were my siblings. Like, Cameron and Caleb, I used to see them a lot, but my brother Cameron, he was a rebellious one. He would be like, "Oh, you're my sister," but you'd think like, "Oh, you're just playing. Like, I'm just we so close. Like, I'm your sister." Like, so I would say, "Yeah, that's my brother." Like, whatever. And my mom was like, she was scared that he was gonna tell me more than I knew because he's older than me, so he did know that I was his sister, but I didn't know that. So she kinda kept me away from them because she didn't want me to find out, like, what's really going on. So, once I found out that she was my mom, it hurt me even more. Like, it hurt me even more than the fact that, like, bro, I sit up here and have a relationship with you. I have a relationship with my siblings, and nobody told me nothing. I'm just the clueless one. Like, nobody told me anything. And it's just like I felt like I wasted so many years of relationship building, I guess you could say, with them than I would have wanted. But at the end of the day, it's like that's life. So it's like,
How do you ever think that you were kinda, like, lucky to be dropped into the situation you were in? Because I say that because and I'm asking you, how did this have an effect on you, especially when you found out, that you were not biologically ours? How did the fact that, you had me, uh, and how I am about you, was especially when you were younger. You have my dad, you have Angie, you had D, you have Jared. So you have this close knit family who we never, like I said, Leighton was the person I was alluding to in the intro. Like
mhm.
he went all those years knowing us. He never knew that. So how did that? How did what effect did that have on you? The fact that on how we treated you.
Tell everybody that knows that I'm adopted that I lived the best childhood you could live. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, obviously there would get in trouble and getting whoopings here and there, but that's in every that's in every family dynamic. But
Hmm.
like the fun times was the fun times. The staying up late, like the relationship that I have with my mom, especially like my mom, you would not think, even to this day, some people wouldn't even think that I'm adopted because I act and I have a lot of mannerisms like her.
Hmm.
So it's like it didn't really y'all treated me very, very well.
So we did, and we still do.
Mhm. Still do. Thank you.
But that's why I kind of got stuck. But what I wanted to say is, you literally like forget. Like there's moments, most of the moments I feel like 98% of the time you're not even thinking about. Like you literally forget. Like it's crazy,
Literally.
literally. So do you ever think about how your life might be if you were not adopted?
I actually I've thought about that quite a few times. I feel like my life I wouldn't even be what's the word? I need a good juicy word. Um, I feel like I wouldn't be as understanding. I feel like I wouldn't be as compassionate, respectful, if I wasn't with y'all. If I was with my other biological family, Lord knows what I'd be. Like, I like, I feel like y'all have taught me the ways to life really well. Um, mm, I feel like if I was to be with her, she would have encouraged me to do very unsmart things. I would have been with a bad role models, bad influences. Like, I feel like my life would have definitely taken a curveball living with her. So
So it's kind of natural, right? And I kind of um think about this in terms of my own daughter because I'm like, she's my stepdaughter and I'm just preparing myself for the time where not the okay, let me back up. It's just like she has a biological dad, right?
mhm,
And the way I feel about her, right? It's kind of like ego in a way. But there's times where she's going to want that or crave that, and you just got to take that to the chin. But because it's just human nature, right? And she's a young girl, et cetera, et cetera. But I say that to say, for you, did you ever feel any guilt or that you were backstabbing Angie in a way for wanting a relationship with Tawana? Did you ever feel that guilt? Like, man, am I doing something wrong for wanting a relationship with her? Like, am I backstabbing my mom? Like, how did you deal with that?
um, honestly, me and my mom used to get into it a lot behind that because, like, I would like, being a teenager and really just being a teenager and already being rebellious towards your mom or your dad or your parent is like really hard not to do. But I feel like since I was still so hurt and I wasn't healed from that yet, she would always get the worst end of the stick because I would be like, I want to go stay with my mom. She would tell me, no, I can't have something. I'll go stay with my real mom. Like it's, the smart mouthing and stuff like that. So I definitely feel guilty about doing that to her because I already know for one, it hurt her really bad. And then for two, it's like she has literally gone to the ends of the earth for me and basically like betraying my mom, basically saying, okay, forget all you've done for me. Forget all the sleepless nights with me. Forget all the doctor's appointments. Like, definitely feel like I'm very guilty for treating her that way. Or, yeah, for treating her the way that I treated her when I was still trying to heal from that situation. So,
Right. I always any chance I get, give Andrea flowers. Like, for the people at home, y'all gotta realize something. I told y'all she was already pregnant at the time. Pregnant at the time, takes on another newborn baby, and had me, who was, uh, about 11 years old, right? Who does that? And let me give some credit to my dad too, because he had to okay it at the end of the day, right?
hmm
So, it's like, that in itself is admirable. Pregnant with a newborn, with a baby, take in a newborn, and already got 11-year-old at home.
yep,
So, shouts out to them.
she definitely get her flowers. Cakes to you, honey.
If you could describe our family in one word, what would it be and why?
Unconditional. And the reason why I say that is because anything that go down, anything that happen, good or bad, they gonna
Mhm.
be there. They gonna, cuss us out, but they gonna be there. So I feel like anything that my mom and my daddy do is unconditional at all times.
What about us? Like, you just said your mom and your daddy, like, I said the family, I didn't say your parents.
All of y'all, literally, all of y'all are unconditional.
Oh, man. So, do you feel or sense that the fact that you were adopted and when you learned you were adopted, that it strengthened the sibling bond more?
At first, no. At
Mhm.
first, I was pulling away a little bit because, like I told y'all,
Because
like I
also, well, I don't mean to cut you off,
mhm,
but I'm just remembering at the time that you learned that you were adopted, I was in college. So now your big brother, your protector, the person that's been there for you is not there at the moment also. But go ahead.
literally.
Mhm.
Um, at first, no, I was pulling away. I felt like everybody was discarding in all different directions. Um, at first, I was kind of by myself. I was kind of, thugging it by myself. But then I was like, at the end of the day, I grew up with them. There's no change of like love or relationship there. So and then it's like when I have a brother so close in age with me,
4 months apart?
I'm not even finna be like, I can act mad one day and then we besties the next. So it's like, um, I feel like at first no, but now that I'm older, it definitely strengthened the relationships for sure.
Do you feel like you still deal with any residue, so to speak,
Uh,
from all that happened when you were younger?
mm, yeah, I do still deal with it sometimes. I feel like I have a lot of like when it used to come to boys, whenever I used to start messing with boys or whatever,
Mm,
um, it was like it felt like an abandonment issue. Like if they were to leave, I would go home and really, really be hurt about it because I felt like, or like whenever my mom got mad at me or my dad got mad at me, I feel like, oh my God, they're finna just send me back. Like
mhm.
literally. So it created an abandonment issue, but I feel like I'm like 90% out of that healing stage, so I mean, sometimes it does still hurt a little bit, but, hey.
So tell me this. You just had a daughter.
Mhm.
When you had Harley, one, did any emotions come back up? And two, now that you have your own child, how do you view your situation from a mother's perspective?
From a mother's perspective, how I view it, I would do anything for my child. Like, I would literally lay down and die for my baby. But at the same time, the situation that I was in, the only problem with her was with confidence issues and obviously drug addiction. So the confidence issues with her was saying like, I can't do this. Like I can't be a mom. I can't do it. And then the other part was the drug addiction and she's like, I can't give that up. I'm so close to it. But it's like for my daughter, if I'm addicted to anything, I feel like if I had to give her up, I feel like the mother in me would let me do it. Cause I love her and I would only want the best for her. So if she had to go to a different family and not even a different family, because I didn't even go to a different family. If she had to go to another family member, I probably would, if I couldn't, like if I was like really bad, like really, really, really bad.
Mhm,
But I feel like on the other part of me is like, I could quit it. Like, there's no substance, there's nothing that could separate me from my baby. Like I created her. I literally lay down and almost died having her. So I feel like there's nothing that would separate me from her because I have the willpower and the mind to say that that's what I do it for. She's who I do it for. So I'm not finna anything that's even proposing like it's finna be go downhill for me and my baby. I'm not no,
mhm.
it's not I can't do that, I'm not gonna lie.
So it sounds like the first part of your answer is saying that you having Harley brought some type of
Understanding.
understanding. Not that you agree, but you understand.
I totally understand, yes, but I don't agree with it because, like I said, it shouldn't be a substance between your child. It shouldn't be anything between your child.
So
Yeah.
did did Harley bring that realization, or did you come to that realization before you had Harley?
When she got there. When she got here, that's when I realized, like, you know how they say, when you first held Carter, that instant f- feeling that I don't know if you got it or not, but I got an instant feeling when I held Harley, and it was like I would literally lay down and die for you. Like, there's nothing that could stop me from being with my baby. Like, that's the love of my life. Like, I understand. Like, I truly, like, before I had a baby, people be like, "Oh, that's the love of my life. That's so unconditional love." I'm like, You can't love nobody that hard." And once you have a baby yourself and you see what you create and you see how cute they are, like the amount of love I can't even express. I can definitely understand, but I have a different mindset on, I would never give my baby up for nothing like that at all.
So have you gotten to a place of forgiveness?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie.
Why?
Mm-mm.
Why?
Because she, it's like all of my biological siblings were in different homes. That enough would make me completely stop because that's not only hurting me, but it's really hurting my children. And it's like, I'm 20, about to be 21 years old, and she's still doing it. It's like she cannot stop to her. I know she can stop, but it's like you can't stop. And it's like you're like losing the relationship with all your kids. Does that not like bother you? Like, does that not, you know, make you think, okay, I'm gonna change for my kids Even though it's been a long time since I've had them and had a relationship with them, today is the day I'm gonna change, and I don't care if they're 50 years old. But no, like, you don't want to, and you've told me you don't want to, so it's like, there's nothing you can really do about that.
I will say this though. One, Imma say what you already know is that the forgiveness is for you, not her, number 1.
Mhm.
Number 2, you gotta think about this. You're in the best position to forgive
Why do you say that?
because look where you landed. The rest of
I
your
know that's
siblings
right.
your rest of your siblings, biological siblings, mm, you know
I landed in the best possible outcome.
exactly.
I
So
did, and I
you need to look at how you were blessed and extend the forgiveness because it's not gonna take nothing off of you to forgive. You know what I mean? Because you have a lot of people don't forgive because they are, reluctant to get hurt repeatedly.
Mhm.
In your situation, you can come home 100% of the time, right? It ain't like, that relationship is just, like, so I don't even wanna say important, that's the wrong word, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so you should extend that for you. Now I'm about to ask you a tougher question. Now that you have a daughter, right? Harley is going to grow up and see our parents as her grandparents, which they are.
Mhm.
Do you foresee I know you'll introduce your biological brothers as her uncles, but maybe I don't know. Your face is
Maybe.
making.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, but do you foresee you ever introducing your biological mother as her grandmother to her?
No. That wasn't a tough question at all.
Yes.
Um, please. No, actually, I thought about it and I was like, um, actually,
Mhm.
I totally forgot. But she has met her before. She's met her before. She didn't want to hold her. And the only reason she met her is because my mom was like, please. Like she's begging me. And so I didn't want her there because
Mhm.
I just felt like I wasn't ready. And so I left the room whenever she got there. And I let my mom, hold Harley, let her see her because I don't want to look at you. Like it's real. In my head, it's like we're beefed up, but it's like I'm not beefed up with nobody because you're not on my level. You feel me? Like it's not beef. It's just like, and I wouldn't even say you're dead to me. I would just say like mm,
Your bed?
you made your bed, humping it. Like what? Like I'm not. What? I'm not. No, like she really that she was the most heartbreaking. It's like as soon as I found out that she was my biological mom, she completely switched lanes with me. Like she used to be so nice. We used to go hang out. We used to go do everything, go play arcade games and stuff like that. And now she's like weird in a way. So I just feel like no, like my baby should be around sunshine and rainbows and great people. And if I had the choice, I'm not gonna put her in a situation where she could get her heart broken too. I'm not.
Before I go to, like, some of the closing questions, I wanna offer some, like, advice. So, you know, you gotta understand, right? Understand, not agree. But you have to understand that, you know, our parents, I ain't
Mhm,
talking about ours specifically, I'm talking about parents in general, had a whole life before we got here. That's not to excuse anything they did, because if you got a child, you need to take care of it, period. But just for the angle of understanding and forgiveness route, right? Got a
mhm,
whole because who knows what happened to her when she was a child, you know, or some of the stuff that she dealt with, in her life.
mhm.
So I think you can keep your boundaries, should, uh, but I want you to get to a place of forgiveness because it's gonna be a weight off of you. Uh So we need to work to get there.
We're gonna work to get there, but it might take a minute.
Uh, hey,
'Cause I'm still not even 100% done healing from it. So,
for sure.
I feel like once I hit 100%, Imma be like, "Okay, I'm a mom now. I can forgive her and move on with my life with my baby and do the things for my baby that she didn't do for me." So, my baby, as far as I know, she finna live the best life possible. Like, there's nothing that's gonna ever come between me and her. And I feel like she lets so much come between her and her kids, and I just can't respect that. So it's like, you grown, you you started when you was grown. You wasn't even doing any of that till you was about 22. So it's like you were grown. You knew better. You knew better. It's like I'm 20 years old and I know and that has led me there's been many times where like anxiety and stuff like that come into play. And there's been times where I mind you, I don't even do drugs. I don't do none of that. I don't smoke weed. I don't do none of that. But it's been times where I was like, okay, I might go with my friends and hit a blunt or something like that. And I look in the back of my head and I'm like, do you want to turn out like Tawana? That's dead. I'm not doing that's a great answer for me. You're absolutely right. I'm not going nowhere.
This girl. Um,
So
what advice would you give to another child or adult who's adopted into a family?
look on the brighter side. Look on the brighter side. You could have been anywhere in the world with anybody with people that didn't treat you right at all. And you looking at all the hurt and I mean you might be feeling all the feelings right now, but they will subside. You will feel better and your family definitely loves you. And my favorite line of the day, y'all maybe were accidents. I was chosen. Okay. Thank you.
She was prayed for. That
I
is
was
true.
handpicked,
She
okay?
was handpicked. That is accurate.
So,
So,
I always think of it like that, y'all. If y'all feel any type of way, baby, y'all were picked.
so I got 2 more questions.
Mhm.
So I put on Facebook a couple of weeks ago about how I noticed that my podcast has become like a family archive, right? So because I'm interviewing so much family and so many stories are being told. So this is something like 5, 6, 10, 15 generations down the line. They can always come back to this because it's forever, right? You can always hit play and hear these stories. So, what would you want future generations in our family to understand about your story?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm pretty good at this.
Okay.
Mm.
Um, what um what I want them to understand? Understand that I'm taking baby steps. And it's okay to take baby steps. It's okay even if you're 45, 50. It's okay to take baby steps. Don't pressure yourself into or don't even pressure yourself into forgiving that person fast and definitely don't make nobody make you feel guilty or pressured to forgive them or don't let don't let them guilt trip you, things of that sort. Like there's a lot of people in your head that can get in your head and be like, "Oh, well like it could have been worse." It wasn't worse, but it still hurt me. It didn't happen to you. You have no story to tell about it. So if you're not gonna sit up here and tell me how I feel about it. So let me heal in a way that I would like to heal and things will move pretty smoothly. Like basically like so I think that all of y'all in the fam should understand that you're not pressured to do anything and you can take your time because all we got is time. So yeah, right.
And lastly, if you had to write a thank you letter to the family, what would be in it?
Example. Like what do you mean what would be in it?
Like, what would you write in your letter? Like, if you had to write a thank you letter to your adopted family, what would be in your letter?
I would say thank you for picking me, of course. And thank you for shining your light on me, for guiding me in the right direction, for protecting me, for being a show for help for being there for me and having and letting me have a shoulder to cry on. Thank you for letting me be a kid. Thank you for not like, even though I was begging and begging for y'all to tell me things that I was too young to know, thank you for, like, shielding me from that until I was ready. Thank you for that unconditional love. That's that's a strong word right there,
Mm.
you know? I would yeah. Thank you for really everything, honestly. Yeah, that would be in it, you know?
And thank you for choosing us because, they say kids choose what family they're gonna go into, so I prayed, you chose.
I was chosen,
And there it is.
you know?
So, man, thank you for coming on, y'all. This is my baby sister. This is my baby when she was growing up. Now she got older. She got a mouth on her now. She like to talk back and
Okay.
talk back and stuff.
Alright.
She thinks she grown and all that. But when she
Okay.
was, she used to be my baby. You know, typical big brother little sister relationship. My other brother's probably a little jealous of our relationship because I used to beat them up for messing with her. When we played basketball, she was always on my team, and you
Then
know
they get mad and
yeah,
tell us
cause
we gotta walk home and,
exactly, like I
you
don't know how
know,
that happened because I was the oldest, but you know we used to always whoop up on them.
telling
Um,
you.
so yeah, thank you for coming
See?
on.
Hold on.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
They can't top that.
You see it,
Cause wait, y'all can't even see it.
you see
Y'all
it.
can't even oh, y'all
Uh,
can't even see,
There it
y'all.
is. Y'all see it?
Been like that. Been
Being
like
like
that.
that. So, thank you for coming on, being transparent, being vulnerable, sharing your story with us. Um, Hopefully to help somebody that's in the position that you were in and also help a mother think about some things before they make decisions also. So, that is it for this episode of the Khyrie Neveaux Show. We will see you next week.
Toodles.